Hi there, Phil McGilvray here, founder of Grandma's Jars and passionate budget coach. Thank you for coming along and having a look at this video today. No doubt this topic is of interest to most people, and that is, how do I budget for unexpected expenses and emergencies? As a budget coach, of course, I see this all the time. So it is important that you do have some strategies for how you're going to deal with things when those unexpected expenses do turn up. Now, one thing that I will say is a lot of people actually try and use this as an excuse not to budget. And I'll often sit with people, especially if it's a couple and there's one member of that couple that have come along that aren't convinced they really need to be there, and they'll be saying to me, but what if this happens? Or what if the car breaks down? Or what if Great Aunt Bertha dies in Peru and I need to go and visit her? So they'll come up with all these reasons as to why the budget couldn't work. Now, the reality is, if you're approaching the budget with that mindset, then it may not work for you. But if you're approaching with a mindset that, look, I just want to know, well, how do I deal with it when I do have a budget, then there are strategies that will help. The first thing we need to make sure of course, is that we've accurately identified what all of our expenses are to start with. Now, I've got a couple of YouTube videos there that actually talk you through the process that I use with all my clients to help people identify what all their expenses are to start with. So can I encourage you to have a look? In fact, I'll put the link to those videos in our show notes. Please go through and have a look at that, because understanding all your expenses is really important, because most unexpected expenses are really just things we forgot to put in the budget to start with. So please be thorough, make sure you've got all of your expenses that you know of down to start with, and then that will reduce the number of unexpected expenses. Okay, the next thing is to have a rainy day fund. We cannot budget for every eventuation. We cannot anticipate every single expense that is going to come your way for the year ahead. There will always be 5 to 10% of expenses we just simply could not have expected. And that's where having a rainy day fund is so important. And those of you that follow my roadmap to financial peace, which is a step-by-step plan I take all of my clients through, will know that step 3 of that roadmap is to build a rainy day fund. That is to have $2,000 to $3,000 set aside in a savings account that is there to cover those unexpected expenses. So, if the car really blew up, so I'm not just talking about day-to-day maintenance, if the car really blew up for some reason, or if you did need to take an expensive trip to see your grandma in the UK because she's on her last leg sort of thing, you do need to have that money set aside. And so the best place to have that is in a rainy day fund. So 2 things that I really strongly recommend you do that will cover pretty much anything is make sure, firstly, you understand all your expenses. And secondly, you then have a rainy day fund set aside to cover the unexpected, because unexpected things happen. Funnily enough, especially when you first start budgeting, it seems the less you are along in your journey with the whole budget process, it seems like Murphy's Law, or Sod's Law if you're in the UK, will hit you hardest when you're first trying to budget. But having this rainy day fund will get you out of just about every problem you'll have. Now, every now and then there'll be bigger things, and certainly what we will aim to do in that roadmap to financial peace is, in step 5, we actually want to grow your rainy day fund into a full-blown cash reserve, so that if something really big happened, like the roof started to leak or you had serious plumbing issues, you've got a bigger, more substantial reserve. But in the first instance, having a rainy day fund of $2,000 to $5,000 thereabouts, depending on your life circumstance, will really help you take control of your situation and deal with any unexpected expenses and emergencies. Now, we love what we do. We are passionate about helping people make this reality in their lives. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's lots of useful videos that we've produced so far, a lot more that are coming. We love sharing our 15 years of budget coaching experience with you. I hope you found this video useful, so please click below and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a look at our website too, because we've also got lots of worksheets that will help you really gain a good understanding of your expenses and so on. They're free to download from our Grandmaster Jars website.